silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Man.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
I think it's time to open up Guantanamo Bay again. I do. I think it's time to bring it back. Because apparently these people don't know how, like, the government, they don't know how to communicate with a person like this. They don't know how to communicate with them. I don't understand why they don't get this. What's this?
Ms. Maxwell, did you at any time play any role in Jeffrey Epstein's activities involving the recruitment, grooming, or trafficking of young women or girls?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Can we, so is she's like, could we just take away her citizenship and then send her to El Salvador and then they could do it? Like, they could torture her and get all the information out? That way we could get around the Constitution? Because we could denaturalize her, then send her over there, and then they could torture her and get the information, right? Yeah, if we don't want to break the rule, like, I feel like that'd be an easy way to do it. Is it the right thing? Let me ask them. Is it the right thing to do? I'm not asking about, like, what your thoughts on the Constitution. I'm saying, is it the right thing to do? So you don't have a single reason why. Like, that's it. And so, like, that's really what I find it to be weird, right? Is that, like, people, this is the issue, is that nobody ever wants to do something that makes them feel uncomfy, but they have no problem with not doing anything leading to things getting worse for everybody. I think that there are a lot of bad things in the world that happen because some people are unwilling to go through, to do things that are, you know, extreme or dramatic, or I think maybe a little bit unfair. And I think really, if you're willing to do that, you can achieve a lot more than if you just listen to, you know, like people like this that are suicidal empathy. Exactly. It's suicidal empathy as always. There's a little buzz. I have no idea. They feel coerced. Yeah, bro, like, it's not slippery slope. Anytime I hear about that. You're wrong about this. She has the right to due process. I'll pull this up real quick. You're not wrong. That would destroy a framework of our Constitution. If the Constitution, here's the way I see it. If the Constitution or any other law or foundational ruling philosophy does not allow us to appropriately deal with people like Ghislaine Maxwell, then it's not us that's wrong. It's the foundational framework that's wrong. Because these people need to be dealt with in order to live in a harmonious, safe society. So to the extent that we have a rule system or anything else that allows people like this to not face accountability, or that prevents us from taking certain extents or doing certain things to make them accountable and to administer justice, because you've got to keep in mind, every single rule that we have and everything about it is all in the process of making a safe and harmonious society. So if you have these rules that are now working against that goal, then it's not the goal that's wrong, it's the rules. I don't think about this. Like, I don't think about it the same way other people do. She wants immunity first. That's not going to happen. Draconian rules, exactly. These people don't actually want to solve anything. They just want to feel good. Yeah, like, I mean, that would actually change things. It would give a lot of power to libtards that would take advantage. Do you think that they wouldn't, like, so you think that they're not taking advantage now, and then they would take advantage if we did that? Also, this isn't a, this is, it's crazy to me that, like, you would even say this, right? I don't even get it. Bad take? It doesn't make sense. You think I'm a tyrant? No, I don't. The thing is that the more that people allow themselves to be controlled by a rule system that is effectively being used to protect people that are bad actors, the more that you effectively let bad actors go free and you let the world get worse. People's adherence to a rule system and to a foundational logic can sometimes prevent them from solving problems in a genuine way. That's the main issue. I think you're not acknowledging the predictions the Protection Constitution offers. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you see what this person did? You're right, they are. Yeah, exactly. They're already doing this. Like, this is the entire idea that don't do something or your opponents will do it. Your opponents will already do it. Anyway, let's keep going.
Ms. Maxwell, have you ever coerced, directed, or otherwise instructed any young woman or girl to provide sexual favors to Mr. Epstein or any other individual?
Yeah.
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Wow.
Ms. Maxwell, did you and Jeffrey Epstein attempt to surround yourselves with influential individuals to curry favor and shield yourselves from potential scrutiny?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right
This
to
probably
silence.
cost us millions of dollars, by the way.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
Can we watch this for 30 minutes? It's almost over.
Right to silence.
I would be pissed too. Honestly, after seeing this, I can see why they're mad.
Can you please provide
I'd be
us
mad
with
as fuck
all
with this.
the names of other additional co-conspirators?
You spend all this time waiting for this,
by
and then
you
this is what
Jeffrey
happens.
Epstein?
She roaches out like a
I
bitch.
invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell,
Oh my
please
God.
be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, is it your intention to answer every question put to you by the committee today with the assertion of your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
She's spamming.
The answer to that is yes also. So just as her lawyer, I'll tell you, yes, that's her intention.
Man, how fucking annoying. Oh my God, that is fucking annoying. Ghislaine Maxwell prison time before Trump moved her into a country club for pro-Trump testimony. So this was her? Ooh. She's sitting there doing nothing, huh? Damn, she walking around. Honestly, like, I don't blame her. Like, bro, you doing fucking nothing all day. Yeah. Damn. Damn, she ain't got a computer even? Well, that's actually probably a good thing she didn't have a computer. She's fast. She is fast. It's a good thing we caught her. Really? Like, can you imagine we weren't able to catch her? Oh my God. She's crying. Now, this is my opinion, right? Just start working out. Yeah, exactly. Minecraft bad. She faster than Sonic. She is, and so she didn't do nothing else. And why is a girl just? Is there a stream room? Yeah, it's her streaming room. So we're losing free labor. Yeah, think about this, right? Think about how many big rocks she could turn into little rocks. I mean, she's using all this energy doing nothing. Like, if we took all these prisoners and we forced them into labor, I think that we'd just be in a totally better situation. We would be. We'd be in such a better situation. So, yeah, there it is. And why she's standing, exactly. License plate factory, yeah. She turned small kids into nuggets before. I heard about that. It's actually jerky. But anyway, so Ghislaine Maxwell will testify before Congress on February 9. What is today? February 9. So let's see what she said. Fucking nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Didn't say a goddamn thing. What a fucking bitch.
We know that there are more than 36 associates, family members, and individuals directly associated with Donald Trump named in those files. Now, there are now at least 9 or 10 other countries across the world that have opened investigations or forced their leaders to step down because of their mere association with Jeffrey Epstein. And the United States government is engaged in an active cover-up of the largest sex trafficking scandal and influence peddling scandal in the history of the United States, and Donald Trump is right at the center of it.
He should release the rest of it, absolutely.
And the person who is living to provide.
But it's not about, the thing is, like, these people, keep in mind, she doesn't care about the survivors. She doesn't care about Epstein. She doesn't care about people being raped. She doesn't care about any of that. The only reason why she's saying this is so she can weaponize it against Donald Trump. This is not a good actor.
Provide the evidence, who knows what is going on, is trying to invoke the Fifth to buy her clemency.
Yeah. So
we know that
this is what it is, right? And what's he up to?
To Comer a letter with 6 or 7 questions. Things like, who were the other co-conspirators? Who were the other men who raped these underage girls?
Good question.
Did she have any conversations about a deal with Donald Trump?
Good question.
She's taken a blanket Fifth Amendment on any question. And my view is that many of my questions don't in any way incriminate her. So we'll see what she does. But there's 7 questions that I have specifically asked, and the assumption is she's pleading the Fifth to each one of those, and the American people will see that there's an inconsistency. Why did she not plead the Fifth when Blanche asked her questions, and now she's pleading the Fifth about things that don't implicate her, but may implicate many of the other powerful people in the Epstein class that committed these crimes.
That's right. No, 100%. And this is the thing. They're untouchable, so it's all irrelevant. That's contempt. Well, I don't know really if that's true or not. And so we're going to go, I don't even want to listen to this bitch, honestly. She's just a retard. After watching Ghislaine Maxwell receive some question, unless she gets clemency, she'll just be sent back to maximum security immediately. Not good enough. See, like, there's a lot of ways we can get answers out of people. But how is it, like, how do you think we figured out all that shit with Al-Qaeda? You know, they might say, well, you shouldn't do that. Well, fuck, why not? Why not? I mean, like, you got to be creative about this stuff.
To the questions that were asked that would advance our investigation, to help us learn.
She don't want to play.
What we did not get were any substantive answers to the questions that were asked that would advance our investigation.
Yep, see?
To help us learn who were the other men involved in these crimes. To help us learn who were the others who knew about these crimes. To help us learn what exactly was said between Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell that led her to be transferred to a minimum security prison. What we did get was another episode in her long-running campaign for clemency from President Trump. And President Trump could end that today.
What did
he could rule out clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell.
He should not rule it out. You should use it. If she can, think about it like this, right? Like, she's effectively out of the game. Like, she's done. if you can get multiple very powerful, very influential people that currently have power and influence, would you trade that for her? In a second. In a fucking heartbeat, you would do that. Anybody who wouldn't do that is a grandstander. You're a moron. Absolutely, you go for that. But it has to be convictions, not accusations. I'm talking about convictions. She's a nobody. Yeah, exactly. And so she's useless. Exactly. So especially your enemies. Well, anybody, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, it's a serious thing. They don't want her talking either, I bet. I bet they're just faking it. The domino pieces start falling. It's a security risk not to do that. Exactly. Which criminal witness doesn't try to trade info for clemency? Even just the threat of clemency would make people roach out. Absolutely. And so I know it's retarded. Why can't we just hit him into the reverse and just say if you invoke the fifth, you're guilty? Well, I mean, like, again, I think that there's a lot of ways you can handle it. 5 people, 5 convictions will lead to the next people. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. Can nobody listen? Like, what the fuck is going on?
As expected, Ghislaine Maxwell took the fifth and refused to answer any questions. This is obviously very disappointing. We had many questions to ask about the crimes she and Epstein committed, as well as questions about potential co-conspirators. We sincerely want to get to the truth of the American people and justice for the survivors. That's what this investigation is about.
Yeah, right. Okay, so invoke the Fifth Amendment. So she didn't even want to go out and say anything about this.
Jeffrey Epstein case this week as his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, prepares for her first deposition.
But there may not be as many fireworks because, as Congressman Ro Khanna claims, Maxwell plans to plead the Fifth. Now, this also comes as lawmakers demand more transparency by forcing people like Bill and Hillary Clinton and the Gates to testify. Joining us now is a member of the House Oversight Committee, South Carolina gubernatorial candidate and Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Good morning to you, Congresswoman. So if Ghislaine Maxwell takes the Fifth today, refuses to answer any questions, what do we expect to learn from her, or do we expect to learn anything today coming from this testimony?
Absolutely nothing, and the deposition will be...
What I would do is that if she's trying to play games, I'd put her in one of those, like, you know, like those prisons where you can't talk or move or do anything, and they feed you, like, you know, like really shitty food, and you can't see the light? Like, I'd put her in one of those boxes, and I would do that, and I'd say, like, you want to come out of the box, and then maybe you could make it smaller on a regular basis, and, like, a hot box, something like that, straitjacket, yeah, put her, like, I mean, because you can't have this bitch going around playing games like this whenever we get, because we took her out of maximum security prison, but we said, basically, all right, you want to play ball, let's have a conversation. Okay, let's, as a measure of good faith, we're going to let you come out of your little box, and now you're going to be in a bigger box. But now you're not doing bigger box behaviors. You're doing little box behaviors. So if you're behaving like you should be in a little box, then we got to get you out of the big box. We got to put you in the little box again. See how this works? You got to go back to the small box. And honestly, for wasting our time, I feel like it should be even smaller than the box you started with.
For probably less than half an hour, because the Oversight Committee has been told she will plead the Fifth and not provide any information because she's not getting a pardon, she's not getting out of jail, so she's unwilling to assist in the investigation, which is sad for the victim, sad for America, and really just goes to show...
Oh, what a bunch of pussies. What a bunch of pussies. This is pathetic. Can you believe this? I can't believe this is embarrassing. How shameful.
How evil this woman is, that she's unwilling to assist and getting really, you know, true predators thrown in jail. It's disgusting.
Yeah, well, as you said, she wants something in exchange for the testimony. You posted on X that you're...
How about you get something if you give the testimony and you get something if you don't? You get something really special if you don't.
We're going to be visiting the DOJ this week to review the unredacted Epstein files with Congressman Thomas Massey. Now, this is the first congressional review without the roadblocks. So what do you think that you could learn there? What do you hope to learn?
Well, I want to see some of the individuals that Jeffrey Epstein was communicating with. There are some emails that are referencing underage girls. and maybe potentially parties and that sort of thing where the names have been redacted. Are those victims? Are those potential predators? That sort of thing. One of the things that Congressman Thomas Massie did last night was a post on X, and I'm following and reading all the comments. And so if viewers of Newsmax can ping Thomas and myself at Nancy Mace online on Twitter or on Facebook and let us know what files you want or think we should view in an unredacted manner, that'll help us prioritize.
Why don't you look at the files where they're talking about like buying a giant drum of hydrochloric acid? Sorry, sulfuric acid. Because like in my opinion, I feel like that's kind of crazy. Like why would you need that much? What are you doing with that much sulfuric acid with 6 drums of it? Like, wow. But like, what about this jerky thing? How about that? How about this whole pizza situation? Isn't it weird that Jeffrey Epstein is always talking about pizza, but he never eats pizza? Damn, like that's crazy. What are the odds of that?
Some of this. I'm also looking for the emails between Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates. As you all know, last week I pressured the Oversight Committee to say that we will bring him in and he's going to be invited to testify. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to push for subpoena as well. But I want those list of names. I want to see the individuals we think are potential predators. And then I want to figure out who covered it up.
Yeah, Congresswoman, I know the Department of Justice says they're going to make these unredacted files available to all members of Congress that seek access to them. Do you worry that Democrats will use that as an excuse to try to trash Donald Trump again? Because we know that they...
I'm so sick of this fucking bullshit, bro. Like, can we just kill all the pedophiles? Like, why don't we just do that? Why, what are we doing? Like, why don't we just kill all the pedophile rapists? Like, why don't we just do... What is the... Like, how is there even an argument about this? Really? Like, I'm so annoyed by this because it's like everybody should be on the same page here. We should all be on the same fucking team.
Misled the American people about so-called intelligence that they saw involving Russia. What's to stop them from saying, well, these redacted files say this and that about him and there's no way to prove it otherwise?
Well, they absolutely will. And anything after 2019 is just pure craziness. I'm in an email somewhere that someone randomly, anonymously emailed into the FBI about me and Ron DeSantis about something that happened in 2008. I didn't know who Governor DeSantis was back then. I was pregnant and raising babies, but...
Just because somebody's in the files doesn't mean they're guilty. But man, if they're talking to Jeffrey Epstein all the time about food and shit, like that's kind of crazy. Maybe you should look into that. That's the way I see it.
No, they will use that, and they have done it that way. But also at the same time, we have to show that justice will be done. I'm actually going to participate in an event this week that we just had several people arrested for sex trafficking in South Carolina. And this stuff goes around all around the country. Nobody ever goes to jail. Those who are predators just get to walk free. The rich, the famous, the powerful. You have money or you're in Hollywood.
True.
Everyone else is above the law, but the laws for the average American, well, you go to jail, right? So it's just, the discrepancy in the two-tiered system of justice is what we want to expose. I also want to expose people on both sides of the aisle who covered it up.
Yeah, this morning we've been talking a lot about, people saying, well, we need to obey these laws, but not those laws, picking and choosing what you think is important to you. You've been demanding transparency no matter who's involved. The Clintons now have agreed to testify. You're risking a lot, though, politically by going after some of the high-profile Epstein associates. I mean, there, some names have sort of leaked out there. Has it been worth it?
I can't hear anything.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Congresswoman?
Okay, I can hear you now. What was the question?
I was just asking about, we've been hearing from a lot of different groups in the country talking about, laws they want to abide by, laws that they don't think they should abide by, especially with ICE and such. But you've been really focused on, taking the gauze away, opening up, to the sunlight. But that is a politically risky move also because of high-profile associates of Epstein's. So I was wondering what you thought had been worth it so far.
Well,
the whole thing's been worth it. What do you mean? Like, it's the truth. People should know what the truth is. Like, I don't know why, like, people are thinking about this like it's a tool. Like, it's obviously bad. And the thing is, as well, is that anybody who's compromised in these files can no longer be seen as somebody who can run a country who you can trust, because those people now are compromised in a way that they can't really, like, they can be blackmailed and pressured into doing anything. So the president, well, I don't know. I mean, that's why I say you got to look into it. Like, I don't think you need to go after people like what people see. People keep bringing, oh, Trump. That's not the only way I'm looking at it. See, there's people that they don't even give a fuck about this shit. They don't care about the idea. They care about attacking Trump with it. Guys, it's a lot bigger than that. That's literally it. Pure TDS. Yeah, unironic Trump derangement syndrome. It's not just that. Of course Trump should go to jail if they find out that there's enough evidence to convict him of something. Duh. No shit. Who wouldn't think that? A retard?
I make decisions not because of any certain strategic political calculus to the detriment of my political and professional and personal life. As you all can see, I get smeared in the press all the time because I'm not beholden to anyone in the establishment in either party. I'm going to do what is morally, I believe, morally clear, morally correct, to protect my constituents, to protect children, especially. This is part of who I am and my persona. So for many of us, it is very risky to go after these people. But for me, I believe that it is worth it because the middle class feels that they aren't being heard, that they're being left behind because they aren't rich and powerful or rich and famous. And I'm here to show them that there are people in politics, in Congress, who care about them and their livelihood and care about putting bad people away who should go to jail. And I'm reminded of Dinah in the Bible, who was assaulted, and they tried to negotiate their way out of it. And it seems like in thousands of years, not much has changed.
No, it hasn't. The only difference is that back then, they didn't even give a shit about consent. No, this is always what's going to happen. It's human nature. The problem is that you allow it to happen. It's not, the problem isn't that Epstein happened. The problem is that Epstein was allowed to happen.
With regards to women and children who are victims, and I'm here to change that, do whatever I can to show them that I care.
Yeah. All right. South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace, thanks for waking up early and starting.
No, I mean, there it is, right? I think she's right about that. Maxwell, a criminal predator. She knew exactly what she was doing. How dare she claim to be a victim? Maxwell's as evil as it gets. Well, she's saying whatever she needs to do, right? And that's it. And so if they don't have her, here's the way I'm seeing it, right? If they don't have her talking, you must comply or face punishment. You deserve justice for what you did. Yeah, exactly. Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer said his client will only speak if Trump. Okay, so this is really the statement here. So this is what I was looking for. Let me see if I can find it on, I don't know if it was on my Twitter or not. We're going to look at it. And the problem is nothing's going to happen. No arrests or nothing. Maybe, right? I don't know. But I'm going to get to it. Let me see. Yeah, this is the post that he made. So Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer has said that Maxwell will continue to maintain silence unless granted clemency by President Trump, claiming that her trial has been fundamentally unfair. Members of the committee. So this is the statement I gave to the committee explaining why. And this is the guy representing her. Ghislaine Maxwell invoked her constitutional right to silence this morning before Representative James Comer and the House Oversight Committee. Here is the statement that I gave to the committee explaining why. Members of the committee, on my advice, Ghislaine Maxwell will respectfully invoke her Fifth Amendment to right to silence and decline to answer questions today, though she would very much like to answer your questions. She must remain silent because Ms. Maxwell is a has a habeas petition and is currently pending that's currently pending and demonstrates that her conviction rests on a fundamentally unfair trial. For example, jurors lied during their voir dire, I don't know what this is, to secure seats on the jury, and the government promised immunity and then broke that promise. Newly disclosed documents now demonstrate these facts conclusively. If the committee and the American public truly want to hear the unfiltered truth about what happened, there is a straightforward path. Miss Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump. Only she can provide the complete account. Some may not like what they hear, but the truth matters. For example, both President Trump and President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Miss Maxwell alone can explain why, and the public is entitled to that explanation. Thank you. So they're basically, so she's saying that this is the messaging that she's trying to go through. She's trying to act like, oh, I'm going to exonerate Donald, and that way he's going to give me a free pass. Like, that's what's going on. Then prove it. And so the lawyer's going to end up dead in a few years. Well, I don't know about that. I have no idea. So could the leverage also be death penalty for Ghislaine for names? Well, that's what I would do, right? Is I would say, I mean, this is just really what I would do. Is I would just take this person. I would say, listen, you know, you either give us 5 names that lead to convictions or we kill you, period. That's what's going to happen. And give her 24 hours. That's it. 24 hours, 5 names. And if they don't lead to convictions, if a single one doesn't, you're dead. 10? I'd say 10, sure. Like, people want to say 10, that's okay. Slowly, she dead either way, bro. Like, yeah, exactly. Only 5? Well, I'm a reasonable guy. And, yeah, death's a mercy for them, though. Bro, she'd stonewall you, then she'd be dead. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. And give her to Hamas. I mean, like, yeah, and also, like, why is it that, like, I mean, this is, because you got to keep in mind, like, these are billionaires, world leaders. Like, this is a matter of world security. Like, this is not the time for people to be considering and thinking about, oh, but that's mean to do. No, bro. Like, this is about national security. It's about world security. It's about figuring out if there is a fucking pedophile elite cult of people that eat babies and sacrifice them to Satan. Like, and guaranteed raping underage girls. Like, this is, that's assumed. But it's like way more than that. It's way more than that. And so, like, really, like, and there's a greater evil. There is a greater evil. There is. Welcome back to 1600. They only care about Trump? Yeah, exactly. And they start World War III. The 5 would be another 10? Yeah, exactly. And so, what is this here? The billionaires think that they're above morals, so let's bring down to our morals? Well, it's more that, I mean, and again, this is it's the right thing to do, because if you don't do this and you don't let this happen, what will end up going on is that you'll just have these people go free and they'll do it again. And that's the problem, is that you have to set an example, because if you don't set an example, other people won't realize what they did wrong. That's the reason why. If it's all that horrible shit, then also having the most powerful leaders compromised as well. Well, that's the other thing too you've got to keep in mind, is that if these leaders are actually as implicated as they seem to be, it means that they are totally compromised and you can't rely on their leadership, because now they have something about them that is so bad and problematic that other people that are in powerful positions have access to, that they can hold that person accountable and control their behavior, which puts everybody at risk. The only way to get a real story is clemency. I would give her clemency for sure. I definitely would, but I would only do it on the condition that the names that she gives and everything lead to convictions of people. Like, I would never give her clemency as like a blanket thing unless there's actually like a conclusion to it. What's clemency? Well, like, yeah, there have to be conditions to this, right? Because, like, for example, like, let's say we give her clemency and then she just comes out and says a bunch of bullshit and says Trump's innocent. Well, people are never going to believe that, number one. So there's not really, like, that doesn't move the ball in any other direction. It makes no difference at all. But what's to stop these powerful leaders from paying everybody off? Well, I don't know. I mean, like, accountability from the voting population. Like, money matters until people will lose their position, because if they lose their position, they can't leverage the money anymore. So the votes do matter more than money, but the problem is that the public isn't able to weaponize that voting. So that's the issue more than anything. Thomas Massie was threatened by Kash Patel? No, I didn't see that at all. Let me see if I can pull that up. Is that real? Like, I don't even believe this. Kash Patel's staff threatened Tom. Wait, what the fuck?
Also, I'm gonna say this here on camera because it's important. One of Kash Patel's staff threatened my staff with a criminal investigation if we didn't straighten up and play ball.
I was going to ask you about that, but since you brought it up, and I didn't
I'm bringing it up.
Okay, you brought it up.
Wow.
And so, like a criminal investigation.
What I hate about this is it shows that they're willing to play ball. It shows that, like, Kash Patel, whenever he's working for something that he thinks is a good idea, he is willing to do some bullshit. He is willing to weaponize the legal system, but I just want him to do that on the right side. That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for, is do that on the right side.
Having nothing to do, he said it was going to be a fraud.
Not very.
We're going to investigate one of your staff for fraud.
Yeah.
And he told another one of my staff this. If you guys don't straighten up, you know, if you want to play hardball, if this is how you want to play it or something like that, this member of your staff is going to get criminally investigated for fraud. A very
See, why can't you do this? Why can't we get this Kash Patel on our side? Like, what makes me mad about this is it shows that he has it in him. He is willing to do things that are, like, fucking extreme, like a criminal investigation. What the fuck, man?
Specific threat.
Yeah, it sounds like bullshit, because he's not on your side. I wonder why. I know, it just pisses me off, man. For Israel, he's controlled, that's why. Listen, man, like, him talking about, like, the Epstein files after that, I mean, I really got weirded out by that a lot. I did. Like, for me, I saw that happen, and I was like, is there, like, I mean, there's got to be something going on here that's, like, you know, he's got to be, like, getting paid for this. He's being threatened. Like, there's something that's going on here. Why some of this stuff unable to be investigated for fraud, though? Yeah, I don't know, man. I have no idea. And also, it's because it's being weaponized. I think that's the reason why it's being discussed. I mean, very clearly, very obviously, right? It's about the British establishment.
Next week.
Mr. Cameron, a British question, if I may. What do you say to the man formerly known as Prince Andrew and to Peter Mandelson with regard to giving evidence to your committee?
Mandelson may bring down the whole government, from what I hear.
It's true. Well, bro, Keir Starmer's getting cooked for that, and he should be.
No, he just engaged in terrible behavior. I mean, the allegations are very serious that he was working for Gordon Brown and then feeding information about UK possibly buying euros and having Epstein trade on that. I mean, it is a deeply, deeply troubling. And, you know, Epstein's, I saw this interview with Epstein's former girlfriend talking about how someone is a loser if they weren't mentioned in the Epstein files.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy, bro. Like, you're no, there's no way, right? Like, here, remind me, let me wrap this one up, and then we're gonna go to it.
It's a window, it's a window into the elite impunity, this club. And by the way, I think this is the most vulnerable the British monarchy has ever been. I mean, I heard they were asking the Queen questions about the Epstein class. They ought to ask the King and Queen questions.
Yeah, true.
Maybe this will be the end of the monarchy.
Do you think it could be the end of the monarchy?
Well, if they don't...
The monarchy has been over for a long time. It's symbolic, right? But I know what he's saying. He's not saying that. Like, I get it.
The answers are, if they're implicated with an Epstein class, not a good look for the British monarchy.
What questions does the King have?
Hey, guys, do you think the British monarchy is implicated with the Epstein class? What do you think? What do you think? We got any thinkers in here? Oh, man. Yeah, it's about where I'm at, too.
Well, the king has to answer what he knew about Andrew. And just stripping Andrew of a title is not enough. I mean, Andrew needs to come before our committee and start answering questions. I mean, look, if you have allegations of raping a young girl, I don't think the appropriate punishment is you no longer get to be a prince.
Absolutely. That's a real one right there. Yep. You really think you're going to get answers? I think that if we wanted to, if the public wanted to, we could easily get answers. It's so easy. The problem is that so many people are dumb. That's the issue, is they're dumb. It's also like, here's the issue too. Nobody really gives a shit. You have very few real ones out there. Very, very few real ones.
There's got to be more
Mostly
than that.
It's just a bunch of lip dicks.
Family must have known something they're not telling us.
They need to answer. The king and queen, and I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand the British.
And people ask who is it? This is Ro Khanna. He and Thomas Massey were the ones that were the two co-authors of the Epstein bill that basically caused this entire domino effect to happen. He's a big Democrat. Thomas Massey is a libertarian Republican. And the two of them kind of came together with bipartisan agreement to, put this bill forward. This is a W, huge W. And it got passed in the Senate. It got passed in the House almost unanimously. Unanimously in the Senate. In the House, there was one guy that voted against it because he's worried about victims being leaked. But, he was still okay with it. So everybody voted for it. President signed it. Total unanimous agreement. Thomas Massey's joined the Democrat Party per 0 Hour and X. I don't know about that. I didn't see that.
Custom, but what's up with this? That you're going and someone's asking the queen a question. The queen is offended that she's being asking a question. I mean, come on. She wears the same clothes. She eats the same food. She's just a human being.
That's
she
right.
needs to answer the same questions anyone does.
Absolutely.
What do you think of the Clintons asking for their testimony to be public rather than behind closed doors?
I believe.
Yeah, I was actually curious what he thought about that, but I don't know. We already talk about the. No, I don't even know what you're talking about. And handwritten file that contradicts the official DOJ Inspector General report on Jeffrey Epstein's death. No, I didn't see that at all. I have no idea. Prince Andrew's ex saying stuff about being a loser. Wait, okay, all right. We've got the link.
It is astonishing that a senior member of the royal family would meet up with, take for dinner, maybe more, invite to Buckingham Palace.
Wait, so
a
this is
random
3 days ago.
26-year-old Russian
Well,
girl, no?
I suppose he felt very comfortable with Jeffrey. At that point, how long had they been friends? They'd been friends
So
for a
this
long...
is, hold up. This right here is Prince Andrew's ex-girlfriend. Is that right? I want to make sure I'm understanding this.
long time.
Yeah.
Right?
But he didn't know the woman, presumably.
No, but I suppose he put all his trust in Jeffrey and just, Jeffrey said, oh, she's a nice girl, she's discreet, she's beautiful, and sort of why not? Like, he's single, and to be honest, like, he should have been charging for these private tours of Buckingham Palace.
You think
she should be sending the girl an invoice, I think.
But why not?
No.
Might be because she's a completely unknown 26-year-old. And he is a very senior member of the royal family.
Yeah.
And
Well, he's trying to court the hose. I mean, like, let's be honest. Like, that's the reason why. I mean,
he's a guy. He needs to date. I mean,
yeah.
I think it's very hard for anyone to kind of try and imagine being in his shoes. But he's a male. He's single. He needs to date. He's not going to be sitting in a monastery his whole life. So how is he supposed to do that? And so this guy, Jeffrey Epstein, he trusted him. He's obviously, like, they'd known each other for a long time at this point, and he sort of thought, okay, well, he knows beautiful women. And
Andrew said in an interview to the BBC, quote, "That is a picture of me. It is definitely me."
yeah, because imagine, like, he never thought he's going to be shopped into a picture. Like, no one knew. Like, if I saw a picture of me 25 years ago in a location that might have been a friend's house, but I know I hadn't been upstairs. But when you first look at it, you don't imagine that someone could have swapped your heads out and put another head.
They're saying it's a face it's what it's fake. They say it's fake.
Day happened.
What do you mean, it's
and then we have the
Photoshop?
Epstein email from July 2011, which says, Jeffrey Epstein's email, yes, Virginia Giuffre was on my plane, and yes, she had her picture taken with Andrew.
Well, because he said, because I still believe Jeffrey and Virginia worked together on this.
Jeffrey and Virginia worked together on
setting up Andrew with a fake photo.
And you
What the fuck are you talking about?
You believe that because...
Why?
Because that seems the obvious thing. That's what he did.
Because
he
I
was
think
a
so.
blackmailer. It's all coming out. He created, like, in this instance, a photo
Why
to
would you
use as blackmail.
with a fake photo that could easily be proven?
It hasn't. No one's proven it except like people that I know.
So she thinks it's fake.
No one's still saying it's
but
fake.
all the people that the BBC at the time of the interview went to the experts in photography to say, is this fake?
Yeah,
said,
but what experts?
I just think people are going to come to the conclusion that...
What
you
is
have
everyone
provided-
believing Jeffrey Epstein
but
now?
that you've provided no evidence.
Well, there's a photo. There's a photo, and if you say the photo's fake, you have to come up with a reason for why the photo's fake. So, like, yeah, I mean, like, that's clearly the reason why. I mean, I can't even believe this.
Well, but just tell me, is everybody believing Jeffrey Epstein as a Bible verse?
She's trying to use. What she's trying to do is she's trying to use like a moral, like a moral like argument, right? Where she's saying like, oh well, you can't trust Jeffrey Epstein because he's this like weird bad guy, right? Okay, sure. There's videos
I think people
too.
are believing Virginia Giuffre.
Really? What? Because she's dead?
Not because she's dead, because it is
This bitch is crazy. Who is this?
overwhelmingly likely the case that this is a real photo. He really was there. He really did have her arm round her waist. And he's not
Okay,
being
I
honest.
think what I would love you to do another time is to try and recreate that photo and see what the arm does, because that I can't show it because it's very private, but Andrew recreated that pose, and the arm it's
What do you mean
impossible
he recreated that pose?
standing like that with somebody else, and
He did a mock-up of it.
yeah.
Where?
And the hand, it doesn't work. No one's seen it. This is a private thing. But it's impossible. Like, you would have to have Inspector Gadget arms to
Put your
have...
arm around the waist of a
But look how it is. Do we have a photo
young
of it?
woman.
We're gonna.
The way...
I mean, like, this is crazy. How she's so. This is. I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Source, trust me, bro. Like, yeah, this is the photo. Yeah, we're all right. We got the photo. So this is the photo. Guys, I think this bitch is lying. I do. I think she's lying, man. She's lying to try. I don't know what she's doing this for. This looks normal. Yeah, bro, you can't listen. You've got to have crazy arms. Like, your arms have to be so long to do this. Like Inspector Gadget, right? What the fuck is she talking about? This is
he's
crazy.
standing. It's impossible, Tom. His height does not... She is a 5'5".
Yeah.
He's 6 foot, 6'1".
You talked about the tape.
But I still want to go on about this Virginia thing because, you know, just before she passed away, her lies were unraveling. Like, finally people were kind of realizing, okay, this girl is making up stories. And then she conveniently dies. And
I don't think it's convenience.
convenient for her.
She's
you
dead.
know, is she dead? I mean, I think...
Damn, bro, this bitch is retarded. Who is this?
She is. I don't even think Jeffrey
Oh my
Epstein's
God.
dead anymore, to be honest.
You don't think Jeffrey Epstein's dead?
No, I don't. I think he
What
might
would
be
lead you to
alive.
that?
What is wrong with her?
I'd seen one of those emails, one of the ones that ended up in the files, and I think that prison guard needs to be interviewed. The one that he said he saw the bodies being switched out.
So your honest belief is that Jeffrey Epstein is alive somewhere?
I said it's not my honest
Oh, I see.
belief, but I think it's a possibility.
Of course it's a possibility.
Where might he be?
Israel, everyone is saying.
Right.
So we're never going to find this out.
Well, we
You know,
will.
these
We
things
will.
are-
Otherwise, I'm literally going to ask Trump myself. Like, I saw him.
You're going to ask Trump to...
Myself. I saw him on Christmas Eve, and we had a good conversation, and he even gave me his White House pen. And
What did you talk about?
England. He's like very concerned about this country falling apart, and
fucking based.
He's completely backing Nigel Farage. And
fucking based.
Yeah, he gave me his pen. That's his White House on it, and I thought the next time I see him, I'm going to be saying to him, "I've been signing some pardons for you, Mr. President."
Do you think he'd release those tapes? If
What the hell is she talking about?
He'd acquiesce to that?
Yeah, it's not going to affect him. I'm going to try and find out
he's obviously
more.
implicated in the Epstein stuff quite heavily, isn't he?
He's not implicated. Like, the guy had really, he cut his ties with Epstein very early on, The thing is, what people can see from these Epstein files, he knew everybody that was very powerful.
Is this going to be it?
So, if you were on the scene and you were powerful, to be honest, if you're not in those files, it would be an insult. Because it just means that you were a bit of a loser.
Right.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow. So she goes and says, if you're not in the Epstein files, you were kind of a loser. Bro, this bitch is insane. And this is all in 6 minutes. She said all this. Oh my God.
And you were powerful. To be honest, if you're not in those files, it would be an insult.
What the fuck?
Because it just means that you were a bit of a loser.
Right. So the people who aren't in the files are losers.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my.
Lady Victoria Harvey.
Wow.
Former girlfriend of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's.
Uh-huh.
That's an astonishing attitude, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're not in the Epstein files, it's an insult.
Yeah.
You're a loser. Now,
wow. Wow, bro, that bitch is insane. Can you believe that? You think she's being manipulated to distract from the files? I have no idea. I have no clue whatsoever. Neurons are gone? Yeah, bro, what the fuck? Money can't buy you brain cells. What a horrible person this lady is. Disgusting. Yeah, what an insult to my brain. What an absolute ghoul. How can anyone defend any of this? Yeah, this is absolutely fucking insane. I don't even know what to say. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like... she's just out there going there saying this shit. Let me see if I can find the rest of this stuff and look at it, because it's just insane. And this is the FBI document. Take a look at this one. Cut ties very early on. This photo was from 2015. Let me see. I pulled this up. 2015. Oh, there it is. Wow. And also, the thing is that, I mean, whenever he resigned from his position, I feel like that kind of, to me, am I wrong for saying that whenever I see somebody do that, I think that they're kind of guilty, right? I mean, they're a little bit guilty for that, because really it's it's just fuck everyone money, get up there and lie like that. I don't know. And so, yeah, it's an admission. Absolutely, bro. This is it. FBI document in Epstein files just how a decoy body was used. Wait, what? Addressing it separate from the MC building where Epstein's body was being guarded, responsible for it. In order to thwart the media. Wait, what is this? In order to thwart the media, blank, blank, and blank, and used boxes and sheets to create what appeared to be a human body, which was put into the white OCME vehicle, which the press followed, allowing the black vehicle to depart with unnoticed with Epstein's... Guys. What? Is this a tip or real? It's an interview of an individual. I don't know who it is. It's blacked out, obviously. So that bitch is right. It's a conspiracy. Every conspiracy was right. That means they avoided the media doing this? Yes, that's what it could mean. Or it could mean something else. 4chan prison guard. Maybe you're right. I don't know. And his originally understanding when it was posted on 4chan. Yeah, because what do you, isn't it weird that the guy, I mean, and remember whenever he said they didn't need to go through the same processes that other people did for getting into the prison? Don't you find that to be kind of odd? I find that to be extremely odd. Newly released Epstein documents, here's another one, reveal FBI agent purposefully removed a hard drive from jail video recording system, intentionally erasing all prison footage during the time of Epstein's death. I mean, you see this stuff happen, right? Holy crap. This is it here, right? He advised the FBI agent was the one who pulled out the DVR. He advised that he knew that by replacing both hard drives, the system would be wiped, and he had advised the MCC of that. Oh boy. Advised that only one hard drive of the camera system was working at the time of the incident in August 10th, 2019. When a DVR went bad, none of the cameras recorded. There was a system failure of DVR on July 29th, 2019, and a motherboard failed on DVR August 8th, 2019. The drive failure occurred on August 10th. After the incident, Blank was asked about the cameras. There were 2 new hard drives to install, but installing the new hard drives would mean all the prior data would be lost. The warden wanted the video. So it looks like they removed the whole thing. Too many coincidences? Oh my God. What a time to be alive. Yeah, so Bondi lied. I mean, I don't know if they did or not. I mean, they might not have seen this. I have no idea. And so whenever I see all of this stuff, it's fucking insane. And this is, oh, by the way, this is Jon Stewart. Here we go. Here it is. Let's watch it.
My God. Could it be any clearer that John Podesta and his brother are running a family-owned child sex ring? What else could would love to get a pizza mean? That was, my God. Could it be any clearer that John Podesta and his brother are running a family-owned child sex ring? What else could would love to get a pizza mean?
Somebody asked Jon Stewart what he thinks about this shit now. Because I'm kind of curious, right? I mean, because really, there have been some new things that have come to light recently, and I feel like this new information has had a very, very different slant to it. It really has. Wow, what are the odds of that?
That was the famous Pizzagate conspiracy. When people were so obsessed with finding evidence of sex trafficking, they built a whole code book and applied it to those emails.
Yeah, but you got to admit, though, right, is like it's kind of crazy that that code book, like, isn't it weird that the code book that all these conspiracy theorists came up with turns out to be the exact same vocabulary that they're using privately? I mean, like, what do you think the odds of that are? I mean, that's kind of crazy that, like, people discerned a coded language, and then 5 or 10 years later, after that, files come out that just seem to reinforce that coded language word for word, like point for point. Isn't that weird?
What they found were numerous references to pizza, a term Urban Dictionary says is slang for child pornography. So somehow they concluded that Podesta and company were speaking in code.
These conspiracy theorists started saying that pizza and cheese and pasta were code words, referring in fact to child.
Somebody got to check on Jon Stewart. And the thing is that, I'm going to be real, I thought this was stupid too. I did. I thought this was ridiculous. And I can make fun of Jon Stewart as much as I want, but the truth is that I was one of these people too. Like, because at the time, I didn't feel like there was enough evidence for it. Like, I was like, yeah, maybe it's happening, maybe not, right? But I didn't really believe it. I did not. And I was actually pretty definitive about not believing it. But, like, now that this new information comes out, I mean, you got to admit, whenever you were a little bit too fast to the punch there, sure seems like it's more true than I thought it was going to be. You had different reasons for not believing it? What's hard to say?
Sex abuse.
Why did the Podesta emails mention the code word pasta for either little boy or sex 78 times?
Yeah, well, there we go. And I think that's an interesting question. And where is this here? When Jon Stewart debunked Pizzagate. What is this? When Jon Stewart debunked Pizzagate, a screenshot of an email from Tony Podesta to John Podesta was deceptively cropped so you can't see the full email. Here is the email not cropped. As you can see, he wrote that he would love to get pizza for an hour. The context is obviously important since you can't get food for an hour, providing that he's not talking about actual pizza. I think this is a horrible argument. You can absolutely go get food for an hour. Like, what do you mean? Like, I regularly get food for an hour. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't think that's weird. Like, what is he saying? Would love to get pizza for an hour. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. This isn't a smoking gun. I don't think so at all. No one talks like that? Really? I don't know. Like, I think I've said to people before, like, you want to get food, you know, and eat for like an hour or something. Like, I feel like I've said that before. I do. Now, I could be wrong, but like overall, I do feel like I've said that. I don't think that's crazy at all. Saying, wait, what? He says he's not a pedophile.
McCarthyism that has afflicted America since the 1950s. I want you to look at this paper that has been reproduced and sent by the Justice Department. It's called Prominent Names. And it's a list of prominent people who have been accused. Every single name of every accuser has been blacked out. So, for example, let's turn to Meek. It says blank, 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 blacked out, stated she gave him a massage on Epstein's plane, parenthesis, not a minor. So let's understand that. This is an adult, a woman who was on Epstein's plane, she says. I was never on an Epstein plane with a young woman.
Right.
I never got a massage. This is total defamation, a total lie, but I can't disprove it because they won't give me her name. That's McCarthyism. On the issue of his spying for the... Okay, well, let me continue.
Let's get to that.
Go ahead.
For the Mossad, that comes from what is called an undercover confidential source. I happen to know who the source is. The source is somebody who the FBI investigated, found to be totally incredible, lacked all credibility.
Yeah.
This is the worst form of McCarthyism. Why are we tolerating this? Why are we allowing accusations without the names of the accusers? For example, in my case, it's an adult woman. We don't know whether she's a victim. We don't know whether she's a perpetrator. We don't know whether she's a co-conspirator. Why do you hide her name and produce the name of the people who are accused? That's guilt by accusation. That's...
I mean, why do you hide the name of the person who's a victim and not the person who gets named? I mean, like, what are we talking about? I mean, obviously you're going to... Like, it's inconvenient, and he has a point, though. You're right. He does have a point. But at the same time, there is a greater good that this information has to show. And again, like, is it embarrassing that you're in these files? Yeah, it's embarrassing that you're in the files. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that we should give out the names of the victims. Like, duh. I mean, sometimes there are bad things and collateral damage that happen. Like, that's life.
Guilt by association. It's McCarthyism. It's wrong. It's unconstitutional. It has to stop.
What?
And the
It's
media is playing a role in this. Politicians are playing a role in this. Epstein will never
Let
be
me jump in
remembered
for a
for who
second.
he is. He will be remembered for inciting McCarthyism that infects America now more than it ever has since the 1950s. It has to stop.
Jesus Christ, what I feel like that is so fucking ridiculous, isn't it? Oh my God. In this situation, giving the names of the victims that can testify can result in them being dead. Yeah, exactly. The main goal is to protect the victims. If they reveal and suffer any harm, what are the odds of future victims coming forward? Exactly. Yeah, there it is. They were talking about a young girl returning and a little girl praying for Jesus. This was from Jeffrey Epstein himself. Blank said that she felt God's presence next to her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her. And he helped save her life. Whoops. You should dress up as him when you see her. Man. Bro, like... This is evil. Yes, it's actually, this is what I was saying before, is that you can't make a movie of Jeffrey Epstein. You're not able to do that. The reason why is that it's so bad and so evil that it's just fucking insane. Like, it's absolutely fucking insane, and it's so crazy that, yeah, absolutely that's the case. 100% it is. He's out of his fucking mind. Why is the name redacted? That's an evil response. It is. It's a crazy, crazy response. Yeah, who's talking about this? This is insane. Very unconstitutional. Like like just being in the Epstein files doesn't make you guilty. The same can be said about the alleged victims. Yeah, definitely. Why is the font different? I have no idea why. But I mean, are you trying to say it's fake? Yeah, these people are fucking awful. Oh my God. And so anyway, let's scroll down. We'll look at the rest of this here. A new mouth comes out this week. Oh geez. Epstein loves the torture video. Bird recipient fits Mendelsohn pixel for pixel. Man. Mandelson, excuse me. Mandelson, wow. That's about right, isn't it? Holy fucking shit. And reality supersedes fiction? Yeah, I guess so, doesn't it? And this is just crazy. The autists cannot be stopped. Yeah, they're figuring all this stuff out. Peter Mandelson right there. There's another one, obviously. And there it is. And Republican running for governor in Minnesota withdrew from the race after his daughter was found stabbed to death. What the fuck? I didn't see that at all. Oh, my God. And where is it here? Dude, you see, if you ate kids, you're going to fucking die? What the fuck? Alex Jones exposes, okay, this is some other random bullshit. This is something else, too. And damn, bro, like, wow. It's also more on Prince Andrew. He might get finally criminally investigated. Well, what's this? Let me see if I can find it. He going and posting me. How about that? Is this a new one? New Andrew emails to Epstein appear to pass on confidential investment information.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor appears to have knowingly shared confidential information with Jeffrey Epstein when, as Prince Andrew, he was a UK trade envoy. Emails seen by the BBC from the recently released Epstein files show Mr. Mountbatten Windsor apparently passing on details of investment opportunities. Official guidance says trade envoys have a duty of confidentiality with sensitive commercial or political information. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been contacted for comment. Here's our investigations correspondent, Andy Verity.
So he could have basically like shared confidential information while he was in a position that like that would have been illegal to do.
This is Andrew Mountbatten Windsor in the present day, stripped of his titles and roles after revelations of his past dealings with Jeffrey Epstein.
Embarrassment, sir. Is Andrew resigning?
He was already under pressure about it 15 years ago after newspaper revelations in March 2011 saying the financier already...
Honestly, that gets me fucked up, man. 2011 was 15 years ago. Oh my God. Wow.
By then convicted of soliciting a child for prostitution and helped pay off his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson's debts. Emails in the latest batch of files released by the US Department of Justice appear to indicate that weeks earlier, on the 30th of November 2010, the then Prince received reports about his official visits as a British trade envoy to Vietnam, Singapore and China. 5 minutes later, he sent them to Epstein.
I'm carrying on.
5 minutes later. So he just going, wait, let me listen to that again.
Visits as a British trade envoy. November 2010, the then Prince received reports about his official visits as a British trade envoy to Vietnam, Singapore and China. 5 minutes later, he sent them to Epstein.
Bro.
I'm carrying on.
The former Duke of York told Newsnight he last saw Epstein in early December 2010 to break off their friendship.
I have no recollection.
But on Christmas Eve, he emailed Epstein a briefing he knew was confidential on investment opportunities in the reconstruction of Helmand Province, Afghanistan.
Why would you just say, from the Duke, attached as a confidential brief? It's like these people never even thought they would get caught. This is insane. In fucking Gmail, too, yes. Oh, my God.
Funded by British government money. And further emails show he was still suggesting other investments for Epstein weeks later.
Yes.
Under official guidance, trade envoys have a duty of confidentiality over sensitive commercial or political information about relevant visits. The former Duke of York has been contacted for comment, but has not responded. Andy Verity, BBC News.
I bet he is. Yep, I bet he hasn't had anything to say. There are usually automatic signatures sent outside the organization. Just the ending of this interview is insane now. Okay, let me see if I can find it. So where is it? So this is the end of the interview.
You've talked about a thick skin. I wonder if you have any sense now of guilt, regret, or shame about any of your behavior and your friendship with Epstein.
As far as Mr. Epstein is concerned, it was the wrong decision to go and see him in 2010.
Sure was.
As far
You
as
fucked up.
My association with him was concerned, it had some seriously beneficial outcomes in areas that have nothing to do with what I would describe as what we're talking about today.
With what I would describe as what we're talking about today? Like, does that mean with women, or does that mean with confidential information? What a weird, like, so there were a lot of benefits. Wait a minute. So there were a lot of benefits to being in this relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Like what?
On balance,
yeah, I wonder.
Could I have avoided ever meeting him? Probably not. And that's because of my friendship.
Don't ever, like, oh yeah, well, he's everywhere. He can imagine. Dude, you were hanging out with this guy all the time. It's not like this is an acquaintance at a party that you took a photo with. Like, what do you mean? This is like, oh, somebody I knew a couple of times, you know, like I even went to dinner with this guy. Nah, bro, you knew this guy. You were hanging out with him all the time.
Glenn, it was inevitable that we would have come across each other. Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming? Yes.
Unbecoming? He was a sex offender.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite, in the sense that he was a sex offender. But no. Was I right in having him as a friend at the time? And bearing in mind this was some years before he was accused of being a sex offender. I don't think there was anything wrong then. The problem was the fact that
I can see why he had to leave. This guy really, he says some stupid ass shit. This guy's a moron.
That once he had been convicted,
you stayed with him.
I stayed with him.
Yeah.
And that's the bit
that's
as
what
it were, I kick myself for on a daily basis.
I kick myself for hanging out with this generational, prolific, international, like, yeah, I would kick myself for that too. Ah, geez, guys, I really messed up there, huh?
Because it was not something that was becoming of a member of the royal family. And we try and uphold the highest standards and practices, and I let the side down. Simple as that.
This interview has been exceptionally rare. You might not speak on this subject again. Is there anything you feel has been left unsaid that you would like to say now?
No, I don't think so. I think you've probably
doesn't have anything to say.
Most of what is required, and I'm truly grateful for the opportunity that you've given me to be able to discuss this with you.
Your Royal Highness, thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Man, how about that? That's really weird.
I mean, what we're after is the men who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked women to. We want those names published.
Yeah.
We're not out to embarrass people. And the problem is, we went in there hoping to see that in 302 forms. What we found out is those 302 forms were redacted before they got to the DOJ.
Yeah.
So, but our legislation directs the FBI, which is the agency that produced those 302 forms, to also produce these documents.
Sure.
The Attorney General is ultimately responsible for that production, so that's why.
Sure, this is going to happen for sure, guys.
But there needs
Definitely.
to be more information given in those 302s. So I was disappointed we didn't find that. But it's also clear,
What a mystery.
just sort of as a checking their homework, that they need to do a little more homework. There are 6 men. We went in there for 2 hours. There's millions of files, right?
Right.
And in a couple of hours, we found 6 men whose names have been redacted, who are implicated in the way that the files are presented.
Activism, my question is, what's your message to Pam Bondi after what you saw today?
Need to do a little more work. And I would like, I mean, we'll see her at the Judiciary Committee here in a couple days.
Yeah, he wants the names of the women? Well, I don't know. I mean, again, like, did the removal of the redacting trick not work anymore? Yeah, exactly. Thomas on his Twitter is dropping hints on who's redacted. Wait, really? No way.
How much new information then did you see that was unredacted, or did it look pretty similar to what we've seen publicly?
I mean, what we're after is the men who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked women to. We want those names.
No way. No way. Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Published. We're not out to embarrass people. And the problem is we went in there hoping to see that in 302 forms.
Yeah.
What we found out is those 302 forms were redacted before they got to the DOJ. So
who did that? They got to figure this out. The big problem that I have with this is that it's taking too long. Like right now, like this has been going on now for like a couple of months. Really, it's been going on for a couple of months. If Trump did, well, I mean, like, what do you think my opinion is if Trump did that? Like, it's the most extreme opinion that you could possibly have. But I gotta have proof for it. Cash did it himself? Yeah.
But our legislation directs the FBI, which is the agency that produced those 302 forms, to also produce these documents. The Attorney General is ultimately responsible for that production, so that's why we're here at the DOJ to view these files.
Yes.
But there needs to be more information given in those 302s. So I was disappointed we didn't find that.
Right.
But it's also clear, just sort of as a checking their homework, that they need to do a little more homework. There are 6 men. We went in there for 2 hours. There's millions of files, right? And
we saw this
a couple
part.
of hours, we found 6 men whose names have been redacted who are implicated in the way that the files are presented. And finally, the documents that they put up and decided for one reason or another they had to take back down.
I think that honestly, if they don't release the name, they got to just put it out there. They got to just put it out there. Just do it.
I was hoping to see those here.
Yep.
They didn't appear to be in the
Say the
database
names.
that we were able to search. Those ostensibly are wholly redacted files now. We know they exist. They published them for a brief period of time and pulled them back. They need to answer to us as to do they intend to redact those files and put them back up and put them in the database so that we can search them and see if it was appropriate to take them back down from the website.
Are these men U.S. citizens? What fields do they work in? Is it finance? Is it political?
Now we get bro, W question. Holy shit.
What fields do they work in? Is it finance? Is it political?
At least it's appropriate to take them back down from the website.
Are these men U.S. citizens? What fields do they work in? Is it finance?
The context is these are people implicated in the Epstein files as perpetrators, potential or conspirators or problematic people.
Is it political?
At least one is a U.S. citizen. At least one is a foreigner, and the other 3 or 4 have names. I'm not sure if they're foreign or U.S.
In which field do they work in? Is it finance, banking, political?
One is pretty high up in the foreign government.
And
man. Oh man. That is the face of somebody that just realized somebody got caught with their, probably literally their pants down. Man, how about that? Wow.
It's pretty high up in the foreign government.
And some are, they're, one of the others is a pretty prominent individual. But I think that the point is that these 6 are just what we found in 2 hours of a review of the files that aren't redacted.
So wait, are you telling me that these 2 fucking guys just show up and in 2 hours they find 6 people, but the whole Department of Justice couldn't figure this out in like months with hundreds of people? That, man, I feel like something's wrong here. I feel like there's something that's wrong here.
The other issue is why so many of the files they're getting are redacted in the first place. And until that becomes unredacted, the main things that they're sending to the career attorneys to review, I don't think we're going to have full compliance with the law, get the question that most Americans want to know.
Keep in mind the way he said this. Full compliance with the law. The inversion of principles that's circumventing the DOJ, that is intentionally obfuscating the, legally required by law dissemination of information. That is not breaking the process. That's making the process. That is the process.
Who were the rich and powerful people who went to this island? Did they rape underage girls? Did they know that underage girls were being paraded around? And after seeing this, I don't blame the U.S. attorneys, the assistant U.S. attorneys reviewing it. If they're reviewing redacted material, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah, they can't
but
say
they're
anything.
getting, it seems like, material that's already been redacted.
Yeah, there it is. So they don't even, so basically they're poisoning the well. Like you can't even, or I don't even know if that's the right term for it, but like they're pretty much saying that like, okay, well, you can't even go into it at all because they're just shutting it down. Yeah, look at Jeffrey Epstein's alive. Oh, is the poly market going up or not? That's what really matters, right? I mean, guys. Oh boy, it is going up. So 6% is a lot. I know this is a lot. And what is this? And I'm worried for you. Oh, I don't know about any of that. I have no idea anything else or whatever this is. And oh boy. And pull me up. It's time. And he was alive. Someone might do a rescue attempt on the ambulance. Well, yes, exactly. Epstein is in a bunker sweating over poly market. Yeah, dude. Well, that's what it is, right? I mean, it's Polymarket is the one that I think a lot of people are listening to and they're seeing it, and that's it. How do you prove this is a bet? How can you make a bet on something you can't prove? Well, if it gets exposed that Jeffrey Epstein is alive, I think that's a pretty big one, right? I think that's obviously a big one. So yeah, anyway, look at this. And so I don't understand why this is, I don't understand why this is so... Why nobody's talking about this. This is crazy. Oh my fucking God. This dude, oh, look, it's me. This dude's been covering the Epstein files brilliantly for millions. We're in a new age of disclosure, and we need channels like Asmongold to carry the torch many have dropped since 2016. Well, the reason why I'm covering it, I think that a lot of other people are afraid to cover it, or they don't want to look into it or anything else. But the reason why, it's very, very simple. The reason why is because they're the ones that want to realize, listen, like people want to know what the truth is. They want to know what the actual truth is, not some bullshit or anything else. So I feel like that's the main reason.
With what judge?
What do you mean with what?
With what judge would be there? Is it you?
I am the judge, yes.
This disrespectful woman walked into court with attitude, and the judge didn't hesitate to put her in her place.
We have the plaintiff, Aricia Sanchez, present. We do not have the defendant, Rodman Realty, or Don Rodman, present. So I'm going to look over the docket.
How long do they have? Because if someone's not present, then we should be able to move forward after a certain time. And I'm in nursing school.
Ma'am, I will control how this one goes. And so I will tell you the procedure today. I understand that you sound sort of frustrated, but
because I've been waiting for approximately 25 minutes. Court was at 11:30. If we're required to be here at a certain time, it should be starting at a certain time.
Do you think? Oh, no, that's not how that works. Do you think you're the only individual that has a case on today?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay, well then you wait until
you're 11:30. So don't be disrespectful.
Okay, you could go back into the waiting room and then I'll call you back after.
At a certain time.
Do you think? Oh,
11:30. If we're required to be here at a certain time, it should be starting. At a certain time.
Do you think? Oh, no, that's not how that works. Do you think you're the only individual that has a case on today?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay, well then you wait until you're
11:30. So don't be disrespectful.
Okay, you could go back into the waiting room and then I'll call you back after I handle the next matter. Thank you. Ms. Sanchez, let's try this again. So it looks like in this situation, you asked for us to cancel the trial date because there was some kind of a conflict with your schedule.
Yep.
But it looks like the defendants are not here, so I'm not quite sure why they're not here. We can go ahead and set a new trial date, and then we can send them notice of the new trial date. So
okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, so October 8th at 3 p.m. is the new trial date. That means that you need to drop off exhibits by September 26th, and please bring 2 copies of every exhibit that you you wish to use at trial, okay? Sanchez didn't want to do it today, so it needs to be pushed out to a different date so she can be in person. Let's go ahead and look at the dates. So the next availability is November 19th at 3 p.m. Does that work for all parties?
We'll make it work here.
With what judge?
What do you mean with what?
With what judge would be there? Is it you?
I am the judge, yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to put in a request for a different judge because I would like a fair trial and I don't think you're being very fair with me.
That's wonderful. Please file the paperwork. That
I
would be great.
definitely will.
Sounds great. So I believe you already, Rodman Realty, you guys already presented 2 copies of everything, right? So you don't need
Yes.
to double up. Okay. Nothing was received from the plaintiff. You
Rodman
have until
has-
November 7th to submit any evidence that you would like to submit. It needs to be 2 copies of everything. So that way Rodman Realty can come and pick up anything they may need.
Rodman has
Starting-
received exhibits online. I'm not going to argue with you. You're being extremely disrespectful yourself, and I have rights as a citizen and in a courtroom.
I'm really sorry. I removed her into the waiting room for her to cool down for a second.
Okay. But you see what we've been dealing with.
I'm not going to make a comment on that, but you don't get to talk to people like that, especially to a judicial officer. So I'm going to give her a
Right.
second to calm down.
Okay.
So yes, I am witnessing a lot, but I'm not going to make a comment on it. But yes,
Of course. Right.
it is disrespectful.
With what judge?
What do you mean with what?
With what judge would be there? Is it you?
I am the judge. Yes.
Do you like anime? Because we're in virtual reality. We can go anywhere.
Dude, be
Ghostbusters, SpongeBob? Oh, you want me to be SpongeBob? Okay. I was gonna say we could go to a SpongeBob world.
Oh, do it.
Okay.
Is the other person just doing idle animations, or is that another person?
She's just jumping, yeah. She's just having fun.
Spin twice to the left if you need help, other person.
She's fine.
If you don't need help, spin to the right.
Why are you laughing?
Because I can see you without the character.
Oh, crap. I can't believe it. Do you like anime? Because we're in virtual reality. We
What did you want to say?
In my defense.
I don't want you to talk about the case now. I've got a bunch of DAs here, and everything that you say, they can use it against you.
Absolutely.
Now's not.
And I have nothing to hide, sir. I'm leaving the country. I have to leave the country to teach Bible and English in Ukraine on Monday.
Mr. Cameron, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers initiated a traffic stop after observing the defendant failing to maintain a single lane and swerving between lanes without signaling. Upon the traffic stop, officers observed slurred speech and glassy bloodshot eyes. The defendant on his own immediately stated, "You're going to make me walk the line, aren't you?" The defendant admitted to drinking a glass of wine and taking a Valium. SFSTs were conducted, 6 out of 6 HDN, 5 out of 8 walk and turn, 3 out of 4 one-leg stand. DIC was read and defendant consented to blood draw.
Look to see if he has any prior DWIs, please. Valid Texas driver license. Mr. Cameron, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get more PR bonds.
Give that to Mom and tell her that's a way she can give somebody else. It ain't much, but it's a little piece of my heart. I hope you hear.
When a struggling couple admitted they stole to care for their kids, the judge's response was something no one expected.
Understanding retail fraud, are you each going to plead guilty to that charge today?
Yes.
Ma'am?
Mr. McBride and Ms. Thomas, were you both at the Walmart?
Yes.
Okay. Were you at the self-checkout counter and did you fail to scan certain items, personal items that you had that day?
Yes.
Were those items food, personal use items? Okay. The items that were taken that day, they have both come in the most sincere, humble way and have explained to me what was going on and why. They don't excuse their behavior, but they were in a tough spot and made a decision that day that they obviously regret now. I've discussed with them what options may look like moving forward, obviously for assistance or help. And again, even some of the court's options with maybe converting fines into community service. This young lady's never been in, again, trouble before. The emotion that came over her today when she heard that she wasn't even going to jail, could still be there for their kids, was overwhelming. Just anecdotally, Mr. McBride asked to come in and take responsibility the entire day. Again, loving father, they're in a tough spot, and I'm not, again, saying what happened was okay.
Yeah.
But we looked at the context of what was going on there that day,
Okay.
and we just asked that the court consider these factors when passing sentence for these two folks.
You guys working?
Yeah.
Yes. Both of you?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the youngest. So what was going on?
Was running low on money.
I'm so sorry, Judge.
I'm sorry too. You know what I'm sorry about? The fact that you felt like that was your only option. So a bunch of stuff going in my head right now. And first of all, you're not going to jail. Right? So you forget about that. Before you get out of this building, I want you to make contact with Mr. Taylor downstairs. Mr. Taylor is our community resource guy. He's going to be able to give you some phone numbers, some pamphlets for some organizations that you should have in your toolbox.
Yes.
Okay? Things will probably be tight again, right? So let's avoid this kind of stuff.
Yes.
All right? Well, first of all, either one of you got anything you want to tell me before I sentence you?
Again, I repent. I repent.
Mom, you don't even have to tell me. I can read your face. It's obvious as hell. I'm going to hit you both $300 for a total of $6. You can do that with money. You can pay $50 a month. You take care of whatever you want to do. You can do it with money if you want to. Instead of paying us $300, you can do some community service, charity work, document that to us. We'll apply it as money and close these files out.
I promise you it'll never happen.
I don't doubt that a bit. That's not even a concern for me.
Thank you.
All right. So you keep giving me little hints that you're a woman of faith.
I am.
So what happened to you two today, I would say was classified as grace. Would you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Here's what I think is really cool about grace. You can't keep it.
Right. It runs out.
You got to give it out. But I'll sentence you to that. Show somebody grace.
Amen.
Now, last thing, because this is going to make my tail wet. Come here. Give that to Mom and tell her that's a way she can give somebody.
Oh, wow.
It ain't much.
No.
It ain't much, but it's a little piece of my heart. I hope you hear.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you so much.
So good luck. Give that to Mom and tell her that's a way she can give somebody else. It ain't much, but it's a little piece of my heart. I hope you hear.
When a struggling couple admitted they stole to care for their kids, the judge's response was something no one expected.
Understanding retail fraud.
Antonio!
Gucci strength detector. Oh!
think it is time for a loaf check. Oh my goodness, we've got...
Hi, Sam.
Hi, buddy.
What do you want from me? Okay, come on. There you go. I'm not fat, okay? I'm just really, really easy to see.
Your head is so small and your body is so big.
She ain't moving.
No, she is not.
That's kind of fun, Ira.
That was a large cat.
Moving.
So big.
She ain't moving.
No, she is not.
That's kind of fun, Ira.
That was a large cat.
What she is doing, the world may never know.
Phoenix, stop it.
Cat, you cannot help with homework.
Please, oh my god. Okay. Yeah, that's a step.
My goodness.
understand?
Are you going to allow me to speak
What did you want to say?
in my defense?
I don't want you to talk about the case now. I've got a bunch of DAs here and everything that you say, they can use it against you.
Absolutely.
Now's not.
And I have nothing to hide, sir. I'm leaving the country. I have to leave the country to teach Bible and English in Ukraine on Monday. I've been planning this for months.
I'm not putting a travel restriction on you. I'm just ordering you not to consume alcohol or legal drugs.
I haven't. I had 2 lens replacements that week, sir.
From now on, while this case is open, you are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication.
I don't anyway.
Well, then it shouldn't be a problem. But you're going to be randomly tested. How long are you planning on being out of town?
7 months until May.
This is going to be an issue. When are you leaving?
Monday.
You need to hire a lawyer. You need to talk to a lawyer about this so we can work something out. But you now have an open criminal case. You can't take off for just 7 months. It's not going to, it can't happen. It's going to be an issue.
Half of the things that officer said was a lie.
That's why we have trials.
Okay.
You know, that's what I get it. There's always 2 sides to a story. I understand. The evidence will point to whose side is correct. I don't know. I wasn't there.
May I ask you a question, sir?
Sure.
When does the blood work come in?
It takes a couple months. You have to understand that we live in a city of around 3 million people. On average, I probably have around a couple hundred DWIs that I'm working every week. In those, nearly every one of those is a blood test. So they are just overwhelmed with the amount of blood tests that they're working at any given time. So basically you get in line and then it just, when it's your turn, that's when they do it.
I had 4 ounces of wine.
Let's not talk, please. Everything you say, they're going to sit there and they're going to
Absolutely, I'm ready.
Don't. Now's not the time. You need a lawyer to represent you. What
I will be my own lawyer, sir.
Would you perform open heart surgery on yourself? And let me tell you this.
I have nothing to hide.
Let me tell you this. If you're going to represent yourself, I'm going to require your presence here every month to go through discovery. Whereas if you have a lawyer, I waive appearances, right? Just, you can't represent yourself and be gone for 7 months. It don't work like that. So if you hire a lawyer, I will waive your appearance.
I can do this by remote?
You can't. Your lawyer can. If you represent yourself, I require your appearance here.
Right, sir. You're talking about a public defender if one is appointed for me?
You have to qualify. I don't give out public defenders like it's candy on Halloween. You have to qualify. If you have an income and you meet the federal poverty guideline, then we will appoint you a lawyer. But if you don't qualify, then you have to go hire a lawyer. But once you do hire a lawyer, I waive appearances so you don't have to waste your time coming to court. And then at that point, your case will be put off around 4 months, give or take. And then when the evidence comes in, that's when we start working the case. But you have to understand that we randomly call people to take a drug and alcohol test. And if you don't show up, we issue warrants. So that could be an issue. So that's why